Test, test.
To order at 14050 Olympic Drive, Clearlake, California, Thursday, December 16th at 2 p.m. Roll call.
Councilmember Claffey.
Here.
Councilmember Kramer.
Here.
Vice Mayor Purdock.
Here. Here.
Mayor Slutin.
Here. All right, pledge of allegiance. Councilman Claffey, will you do the honors? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today, move right into the, can we have any changes to the agenda, Mr.
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor, to approve the consent agenda as presented.
The overall agenda?
The overall agenda first, Mr. Quinn.
Consent agenda.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the agenda, and then we'll move to the consent.
Oh, I'm
Second.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we have a motion by Councilman Kramer and a second by Vice Mayor Purdock to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, now we'll go to the consent agenda. Any changes to that? If not, I'll open it to the public. Any changes from the public? Nobody wants to pull? Okay, we'll take it back to the council. Can I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Kramer,
A second.
second by Councilman Claffey. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll go to public hearing, item number 11. Mr. Flora.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. So I think the council is familiar with this property owned by the former redevelopment agency, 29 acres off of Old Highway 53. We were here almost exactly a year ago with an exclusive negotiating agreement. I put the history in the staff report. I won't go through all of it, but Danco Homes, which is associated with Danco Communities, doing the housing project on Burns Valley Road, because they're going to be here in town doing a project next year, believes that they can make this project on the 29 acres work. And so we've been working with them and putting a deal together for the purchase of that, which is included in your packet before you. So just to kind of quickly go over the deal points, the sale price is similar to what was laid out previously. Will be a reduced price on the value of $100,000. In this case, the purchase agreement, we would open escrow with the deposit, and then they would work through having the former tentative map re-adopted. And then once that was done, the purchase would close. And so Chris Dart, president of Danco Communities, is on the line if you'd like to hear from him. But just say that my understanding is their plan on the map would be, basically the same as what was previously adopted. So I think it would result in between 20 and 22 homes. So with that, I'll try to address any questions, and then we can see if Mr. Dart would like to make any comments, or if you want to ask him any questions.
Questions from council or staff at this point?
Not at this point.
Not at this point? Okay. We'll open the public hearing. Maybe we can hear from Danco first. Could you introduce the gentleman?
Chris, can you hear us? Would you like to make any comments?
Looks like
He says to turn the mic on.
the mic
He's-
is turned off there. on the
He's not hearing us?
He's muted.
Okay, he's unmuted now. Can you hear us, Chris?
If somebody's talking to me, I can't hear anything going on in the room right now.
Okay, hang
I
on
think
one
you're
moment.
muted. The city's muted. The council.
Test, can you hear now?
I see the microphone muted on the screen there. Does that have anything to do with it?
It should be. Is the microphone on the right one on your? Is the right one supposed to hear?
He says it looks like the mute button is on in the city. limits. You want to get him on a phone? Get him on.
Right. You want to turn that off?
I can hear now.
Awesome. Could you address the council on your project?
What we got going on?
Now one of them needs to be muted.
Test. Test.
Someone in this room, do you have your audio on? Test. 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 Test, test.
All right, sir, can you hear us?
We gotta unmute the speakers.
Chris? Can you hear us? Okay.
I can hear. The
Ma-
echo is going.
Maybe we're
Great.
okay.
That's good for my end too.
All right, could you comment on this item on the agenda and your proposed development of the 22 lots on the 29 acres that the city currently owns?
Yeah, Chris, just real quick, I gave an intro to the project, but you couldn't hear us, but the council has heard, so maybe if you can just kind of give them an update on what you're thinking and see if they have any questions.
Okay, great. We are currently intending on developing out the property as it was, the previously approved map was approved in July 2006 with the larger lot subdivision. So our intention would be to proceed ahead with this development as it was originally intended, doing the larger lots. They're about 51,000 square feet they range. And then the type of homes that we would build on the property, once we re-entitle the property and we've got it all set, then we would go into construction on the different homes. And we're thinking, between kind of 2,000, 3,000 square foot like ranch style houses, on these larger lots like this. It seems maybe like a, larger, little on the, like a second tier up home in some cases. It's a larger home subdivision. We have another property like this similarly going in up in Humboldt County area there on 1 acre or larger lots, and that product seems to fit for this location, these size lots. So that's really our plan.
Great, thank you. We'll open the public hearing. Do we have any comments here in the audience? If not, I believe we have some written correspondence, Madam Clerk. Could you read those, please?
Sure, one moment. The first is from Lindsay Heap, who submitted a written emailed comment, who states, "Good afternoon, my name is Lindsay Heap. I live at 2895 Old Highway 53, directly across from the proposed sale and purchase of 2890 Old Highway 53 to Danco Development. I was hoping this property would be taken off the agenda, to be honest. My family and I moved here 3 years ago after living in our fifth wheel for 16 months in front of our burned home in Hidden Valley Lake that had also taken the lives of our 6 toy Chihuahua puppies. We were harassed by Hidden Valley Lake Association because we had to live in our trailer since that was all that was pretty much saved. And they were coming by taking photos and sending nasty letters asking us to vacate. After finally having enough, we started thinking of moving. We looked at tons of houses, and then we found this house, 2895 Old Highway 53, which was a dream home for us, especially after all we had been through. Not to mention it's on the same street as my husband's work. How lucky we've been to live in such a beautiful home with beautiful views both front and back. And my husband gets to skateboard to work. I enjoy waking up, opening up my kitchen blinds and seeing the views of the pasture and the sunrise in the morning from my front windows. Our street is for the most part quiet, except when travelers use this street as a racetrack. My neighbors are all amazing. We have grown accustomed to our surroundings, and we love the fact that there's few houses on nice-sized properties. We look out for one another and enjoy our quiet, small neighborhood. Putting 22 homes affects all of our livelihoods. And honestly, in a positive way, we would have loved and honestly it in a positive way. We would have loved to have had the opportunity to purchase this property for $100,000 so that we could build stables for horses and neighboring animals, a place kids and family could ride their horses, take lessons, and have a place to board animals as well, and yet still appreciate the beauty of keeping the pasture open. I'm hoping it's not too late. Go at least be open to all possibilities of this land. We would have loved the opportunity as well as I know others would have also. Thanks for listening. The second comment emailed is from Sean Heap, who writes, I'm writing and will keep it simple and short. I live at 2895 Old Highway 53. Moved here for the beauty of the country, atmosphere on our block and our community. This property would be great for 4-H and to help kids in school with learning 4-H as well as any other livestock potential. I would not want to bring in more homes to add to the traffic that is already existing. The county and our community is a beautiful country setting. I would like to see it remain that way for our little country ranch style community. Thank you. The road to success is always under construction. And that concludes emailed comments.
Do we have any comments on Zoom?
We do have one comment, Mr. Mayor, or one hand raised.
Okay. Please.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Hi, it's Elizabeth with Lake County News. Just a couple questions. I missed Alan's intro, but I do have the staff report. I was curious, how long has the city owned this property and why was it originally purchased? How long is the project expected to take to build it out? And I guess, is this what you would call like mid-market housing? I know that's been a concern that the city has wanted to see more of that develop.
Mr. Flora, could you address the first question?
Yes, I'll try. So as far as when the city took ownership, offhand, I'm not 100% sure. The previous developer that had the map adopted lost the property. The redevelopment agency purchased it. I think it was probably fairly shortly after that. I'd have to look up that date in the tax records. I think there was a third question in there where that maybe Mr. Dart will have to answer as far as the time frame. I mean, I believe we have some generous time frames in the proposed purchase and sale agreement, but I believe their intent would be to begin developing at some point next year when the apartment project is underway. I'll let him confirm that. But certainly, you know, this is the most difficult type of housing to develop in either Clearlake or Lake County. I don't know of another subdivision like this. This is underway anywhere in the county. And, you know, some of the comments we heard from the public about selling this for $100,000, I mean, the market value in normal situation for a property like this is, you know, significantly above $100,000, and the reason that it's been offered at this is just simply to encourage housing development of this type. So, you know, the taxpayers have invested in purchasing this property, and I think letting it sit as green space is probably not a real option, at least from my perspective. And if it was to be utilized for some other use, such as horse stables or something like that, the value would be dramatically different than $100,000. But this is just an effort to encourage the housing development that's needed so bad. So that's my response, unless there's any other things that I missed.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Any other questions from on Zoom? Chris, maybe you can answer the question of what your schedule for construction would be on the houses itself.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna get going on the entitlement piece right away, and, you know, we've anticipated that could take as long as 6 to 12 months, to get through that, but I think, as Alan said, that's a pretty conservative estimate, but we're gonna, you know, certainly start tackling it right away, first of the year. And then, yeah, we're gonna build it out while we're under construction on the, affordable project, at the same time concurrently. That's one of the ways in which we can make it work is by having, by having already being there under construction on another project, we get some efficiencies that way. So that's our intent is to, go into it right away.
Great, thank you. If there are no more comments, we'll close the public hearing. Is there any more comments?
Well, I just want to add on, so make sure the council's clear. I think I put some mention in the staff report, but like these other redevelopment agency properties, the redevelopment agency oversight board, the countywide, will have to approve this after the council acting as the successor agency does. So we'll schedule that. These type of sales have to be a 10-day notice and a public hearing there. So it'll be hopefully sometime in January if we can get the get that scheduled with the county. But I just wanted to clarify that, see if you have any additional questions about it. I mean, this is something that's been through kind of that process before, and the oversight board had said that they were okay with this type of deal, so I don't expect any problems. That's, but it is a couple of hoops we got to jump through.
Great, we'll close the public hearing. Any comment here from the council?
Make a motion.
Actually, I do want to make a comment. I mean, this is the first project that does, market rate or close to market rate housing, which the city sorely lacks. So I'm really excited that this is happening because we really need this. This is a place where nurses and school teachers and those kind of professions can live, and we don't have that in this town at this point. Okay, any more? Mr. Vice Mayor Purdock has his.
Actually, I left it up. I was going to make a comment, but you covered it.
Okay. Very good.
And actually, I was gonna make
Rafi?
a comment.
Go ahead.
I was gonna make a comment leading into my making a motion, but if Councilman Claffey has something to say. No, I would agree fully with what you just said as well. That subdivision it's been subdivided that way for a number of years, sitting there waiting for the right moment. I am thrilled that Danco, Chris, and your company is stepping in to do this, and it's something we really need. And with that, Mr. Mayor, as the Clearlake successor agency, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number SA-2021-04, a resolution of the successor agency to the City of Clearlake Redevelopment Agency approving a purchase agreement for property at 2890 Old Highway 53, Clearlake, and recommending the Lake County Development Agency Oversight Board approve the agreement. And read in title only.
Very good. We have a motion.
Second.
And we have a motion by Councilman Kramer and a second by Vice Mayor Purdock. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move on.
Thank you, Chris.
Another part of that, or?
Appreciate that. We'll go to item number 12, discussion and consideration of purchase agreement of property located at 6461 Manzanita Avenue and 6452 Francisco Avenue. Mr. Flora.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. So these two properties, you'll recognize as two kind of light blue self-storage facilities just to the west of the 18th Avenue and Highway 53 intersection. So as you know, we've been doing a lot of things related to the airport retail development with our intersection and road design extending 18th Avenue from Highway 53 west to Old Highway 53. In order to have a safe and attractive intersection there, there's a need to construct the road through one of these parcels. And so we've been talking to the current owner for some time and have reached agreement on a sales price, which was $550,000. And anyway, so what I'm asking is that you give me the authority to execute a purchase agreement for those properties for that amount. And I think Closing should be within 45 to 60 days. He has to give notice to the tenants to remove their things, which I believe is already underway. And once the personal property is removed, then we'd be able to close. So happy to address any questions the council has.
Council, have any questions from Mr. Flora? If not, we open to public hearing. We have any comments in the public at this point? If not, are there any public comments on Zoom, Madam Clerk?
There are no comments from Zoom.
Okay, we'll take you back to the council for action.
Ready?
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the purchase of property located at 6461 Manzanita Avenue and 6452 Francisco Avenue, Clearlake, and authorize the city manager to execute any necessary documents to complete the sale.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Kramer and a second by Councilman Claffey. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
City council is adjourned at this point
Closed session.
to closed session.